If you had said to everybody in business in 1995, if you don't have a website, you don't have a business, they would have been like, I have a business. I'm looking at my business. Like, I have an office and employees, and what's the point? But fast forward nearly 30 years, oh my God, people won't even start a business without a website. So what's the point of Web3? It's the next evolution. What we're doing in Web3 really is taking everything we learned in Web 1, everything we've learned in Web 2, highlighting the strengths and complementing the weaknesses. So what's the point? You tell me. How would you have felt if you had a business and everyone else in your industry created a website except for you? Or how would you have felt as a business where everyone else uses online payment processors and customers can come into your business or customers can work with you, and by simply exchanging a series of numbers, they are able to pay, and they can do that however the heck they want. But you're the only one that says, what's the point of that? Whereas everybody else is doing it. So you tell me, what's the point? Why should anyone care about Web3? It's going to be on a very case-by-case basis. For business, I think we can all look back with 2020 hindsight and say, well, if you didn't create a website, if you didn't start social media, I wish I had gotten onto some of these platforms at the beginning instead of waiting for everybody else to get in there, because the people who got on there have the biggest followings. Like, they didn't have to be the best at what they were doing by any means. And why? Because they were able to play and test and grow with the platform, and the algorithm rewards them heavily for that. With Web3 for business, you get to create the opportunities, and that's happening in real time. This is preseason. This is warm up. I keep saying that. You have this opportunity to test with your people. And so for a service-based business, the bare minimum that Web3 will provide you is the ability to accept crypto payments. So with a Web3 URL, which will teach you how to build, people can just send crypto to your wallet. So, I mean, why? Would you like to accept Bitcoin for payment? So there's that. Now, with a Web3 platform, you can obviously start to use NFTs and smart contracts in your business. So if you think about like a Zap, or you think about an API, an API is the string of data that connects your platform to another platform. So as an example, like that's exactly what Zapier is. If you don't know what Zapier is, it's another video, I guess. But you know how you can use like scheduling platforms to schedule onto social media, or your PayPal might connect to your bank account. So that's all APIs that's linking that. So with Web3, all of that can be integrated. Has that happened yet? No, we're very, very early days with this. But with Web3, that's where the ownership comes in. You are your own payment processor, right? You are your own CRM system. And that's all in the works. It is going to be based on what you want, what problems you have, and how can Web3 solve that? I hope this lighting works because I really like that. So why is this different than existing automation tools? Why does this matter? How is this going to advantage my business? Like, how is this different than using MailChimp and PayPal and Stripe and Teachable? And okay, I just answered the question. All of those different platforms, right? And as a user, just think about your experience online right now. You log into something, you can't remember your password, you have to change it, and then you need two-factor authentication. The app on your phone is being weird, blah, blah, blah. It's very clunky because major corporations became the intermediaries. They are the gatekeepers. All of your information, all of your access is dependent on them moving the red velvet rope. Moreover, when you're using multiple applications to provide service to your customers, clients, and buyers, you don't have access to your customers, clients, buyers. They do. The third-party application does, the software program that you're using. Do you see where I'm going with all of this? Now, from your customer, clients, buyers perspective, that's multiple logins. They're potentially having to use multiple types of software, downloading multiple types of apps. And all of that is tracking them, not for their benefit, not for your benefit, but for the company that now owns that software solution. So is Web3 perfect? Absolutely not. Is Web3 going to solve all of those problems? We have no idea. What it is hoping to do is create a decentralized network so that you and your customer, client, buyer, the human beings participating, are in charge of their experience and their data and the permissions that they give. And we work with a particular platform or a particular solution to get our needs met. And we don't have to sell our fucking souls or our data or get tracked all of the time for doing that. Is that going to go away? No, absolutely not. And honestly, some people are very much going to opt in for that, especially as this stuff is all getting built out, because we just don't know. You are in the driver's seat, my friend. You are creating this. And we're going to do it one step at a time. A house is not an NFT, but just like the deed of a house represents the ownership of that property, it might be a different word in your country, an NFT can also represent the ownership. And we could very easily translate a deed into an NFT. You take a picture of it or you make a PDF and you mint that onto the blockchain via an NFT app. So what I mean by that is you use a user interface, a program that somebody has built on a blockchain. A blockchain is a collection of data that you can see, that anyone can see, and anytime a new piece of data is added to that collection, it is incredibly transparent. The programming, the language, the series of letters and numbers that represents that particular data is open source, which means it's available for anybody to see. Now, obviously, we don't all speak that language. However, people are building programs, smart contracts, automatic and executable actions. That's all a program is. That's my dog shaking. It's dinner time. But by using some of these apps that are on these blockchains, these different ecosystems, these different platforms where things like cryptocurrencies exist. Cryptocurrencies are just another form of blockchain. It is a series of data that is in a packet. So each token, each particular coin, each representation of value is linked together so that anytime someone execute an action, a transaction, typically with crypto, you're sending it from one person to another, like a buy or a sell. We can see that. And so how can a house be an NFT? A house isn't an NFT, but the representation of ownership can be an NFT.